Good morning, guys. Yes, it's almost mid-November, and of course, we're almost right in the middle of starting out for college basketball, like I told you last week. But I want to begin this episode with a little tribute to two people I knew. One of them was a nice lady that I had gone to school with and I graduated with Minders, class of '89. She passed away from an aggressive form of cancer, and she married a man updike and had a beautiful little family. This episode is for Kelly Weeks, and also this episode is for Amy Westfall, who was a popular person in Waterloo and owned Amy's checkered flag, and was a big fan of NASCAR racing and a great pillar of the community. This is for Amy and for Kelly. Now let's begin. Yes, after a nice little win against Lemoyne, a scary win, guess what? We got a scary little game for the second game of the year for the Orange basketball team. Yep, it's our old friends from about 35 miles down in Madison County. Our old friends from the semi-Ivy League school, as I like to call it, Colgate. And the thing is, Colgate is a scary team, but they're well coached. Heck, they ended a long losing streak to the Orange a couple of years ago, won 2 straight, nearly could have won a 3rd straight, but the Orange put on a great comeback last year. But still, playing the Raiders is a pretty scary thought now for the Orange. Well, you know, heck, we gotta brush our teeth with them. And also, we gotta think about those Penguins on Saturday. Our first ever meeting against Youngstown State on the hard court. Well, you know what? We could have a Lucy and Snoopy there. Hey, can you be a penguin? Yes, he's even a good penguin. Ow! No, it's not Charlie Brown Christmas yet, but of course, heck, if Snoopy's there, he could do something, you know. But you know, good start for the Orange basketball team. Let's keep it continuing against Colgate and against Youngstown State. But for the Orange football team, disappointing game. It officially pretty much killed any chances of us being in the college football playoff. So we got to look forward to what bowl game we're going to be in. And hopefully it'll be a good one. But I mean, this loss against our old friends from Boston College, you got to wonder, are we starting the November slide? I mean, heck, Marcia Griffiths sang about the electric slide. Is she going to sing about the November slide? Hopefully I'm not going to hear, it's electric, boogie woogie woogie. Nah, if it's the November slide or the orange slide, I hope there isn't a dance, as I'll be right in the middle of it pogo dancing and acting like a punk dancer. You know what? Because we don't need any bullshit done against the Orange. You know what? I won't stand for it. Well, of course, we close with big games against Cal this Saturday, and then against UConn, and the big one against Miami. We'll see what happens down the stretch. Miami suddenly looks vulnerable, especially after their loss to Georgia Tech. Well, you know what? They come into the Dome, they're going to feel the orange wave. Of course, that was the name of a towel. Let's break out the towels out there. Try to show Miami that the hurricanes will be reduced to tropical depressions, if you know what I mean. And UConn having a pretty decent season. But you know what? UConn has not faced a team with a talent like Syracuse. They're going to see what happens. And Jim Moore Jr., hopefully he won't act like his father. But playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we win a game. Hey, there's now playoffs in college football, but not the one that your father might approve of. Who knows? And now we go from talking about the Orange to talking about Buffalo. Another big win against those former divisional rivals. Yeah, for a little over 30 years, the Colts were divisional rivals of the Bills in Baltimore and in Indianapolis. In fact, in the first couple of years Peyton Manning had his career, yeah, Buffalo was a divisional rival. But the NFL reorganized the divisions, and the Colts moved to another division. So you know what I say about having Joe Flacco, who's probably going to take some Flacco for the way he played against Buffalo? That's what I mean, probably a few of them are saying. But you know what? It's a big game now. The Chiefs, undefeated Chiefs, who I think has had a little help, is coming to Orchard Park. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Kelsey, and Miss Swift, who we expect is going to be in a box there at Highmark Stadium. Well, you know what? We're going to give her a nice Buffalo welcome. And you know what I'm going to say? Hey, your music sucks! Yeah, that's what we're probably going to say. And we're going to say to Mahomes, hey, you know what? You're no Tom Brady. You come to Orchard Park, you're going to lose, buddy. Of course, Kansas City doesn't seem as invincible as they once were. Heck, they've had to fight for several of their victories. But of course, Andy Reid is a wizard. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, a lot of people are saying he's Tom Brady reincarnated. Of course, Brady now is announcing, but hey, he can't help but make disparaging remarks about certain teams. You know what? He sucks as an announcer. Well, you know what? You can't go from one to the other, Brady, without having a few hiccups along the way. Yeah, probably from drinking that water too much. Heck, I hope you're not calling the game, because you know what? We're going to make sure we put something in that water to make you hiccup. Well, you see, Buffalo, excuse me, I think I'm drunk. Oh, well, you know what? Let's go Buffalo. Big game against the Chiefs this weekend. Let's see if we can put Kansas City in the loss column for the first time. And you know, it's now kind of in that lull now between the fall and the winter sports seasons for Finger Lakes. But after all, it was a pretty good fall sports season. Now let's see how we do getting ready for winter, and basketball, and wrestling, and bowling, and other indoor track, and other sports. Waterloo maybe hopefully can rebound with its girls basketball team. Well, almost women. I mean, and let's see how the boys basketball team is, who I think has some great leadership, with Dylan, Harlem Globetrotter, Caraballo leading the way for Waterloo, and Minders having a couple pretty good teams. And also for the Minders girls team, my cousin Danielle McDermott joining varsity, and let's see how she can do for the Blue Devils. We'll see what happens. And of course, for wrestling, no Hulk Hogan, no superstar Billy Graham. Well, you know, this is what Finger Lakes Wrestling, what you gonna do when the pythons and the prayers and the vitamins destroy you? No, I'm not ripping off this shirt. No, I'm not gonna play I Am a Real American. Although, in this time around Veterans Day, may be a good idea to play some patriotic songs. But who knows? I'm not gonna act like the Hulkster. Well, let's hope for a pretty good season coming up. And last but not least, guess who is the new old president of the United States? Trump is back in the White House. And you know what? There's probably going to be quite a bit of things being said about him by the liberal news agencies. Hopefully Fox can have a pretty good things to say, because Fox is pretty conservative. You gotta wonder if maybe Bill O'Reilly will have something to say. Kim Guilfoyle might have something to say. But I mean, heck, let's get ready for another 4 years. And of course, people are saying, what's a convicted felon doing in the presidency? Hey, the people believe in him. And I think he'll get stuff done. The way I look at the presidency, it was the lesser of two evils. But heck, Trump is back in the White House. He's making his picks. And hopefully nobody's going to play pinochle, because this might happen. Well, that may be hard to do. Since you threw your ace in my face, I might have to bub your rump with my trump. Bam! You've cheated and you've lied. And by the turn of this trick, the score is now tied. No card games. Welcome back to the White House, Trump. Now do your job. Until a couple of weeks from now, I'm Ken Haas, and that's my story and sticking to it.